Okay, good morning, everyone. We are on the topic of minimization, writing the regular expression and minimization, finding out the minimized DFA for the given regular expression. Okay, so we have studied till now FA, DFA, NFA, NFA ka types, NFA with epsilon, NFA without epsilon, and then NFA to DFA conversions, and then regular expression and writing regular expression, then finding out the NFA and then converting it to DFA. Okay, so we are on that topic, particular topic. The today's objective is to teach you about the Arden's theorem. Arden's theorem is a theorem where if any finite automata is given to you, you can find out the regular expression for that. Okay. Yesterday's lecture we have studied for a given regular expression how to find out the DFA or NFA. And Ardens theorem is used to tell you the reverse way. Like a DFA is given to you, and from the DFA you can identify the regular expression. Okay, but before that, there is one important concept of minimization. There is one exception condition of minimization of DFA. So I want to tell you that, and then if time permits, we will see the problems of Arden's theorem. Okay. So we are going to just see revise regular expression, NFA with a regular expression and minimized DFA, and one exception condition of minimization technique that you need to remember because it may be there in the problem that you have to identify. Okay, that I need to tell you, and then only we will go for the Arden's theorem. Okay, so please pay your attention properly. I'm going very fast today because whatever I'm going to tell you in the first 15-20 minutes is already done. Okay, so pay your attention properly, concentrate, and try to revise so that it will help you. Okay, uh, and you just reply me on chat whenever I'm saying, is it fine? Okay, you reply me so that I know that you are listening. Okay, so we have now please pay your attention properly, try to understand, revise yourself so that it's very easy for you to solve the problems and tutorials. Okay, what we have studied is that we have given a finite automata. For a given finite automata, the language of the machine is a regular language. That language has a grammar. That grammar is called as a regular grammar, and we express the regular grammar by using regular expressions. That I told you. Every language has a grammar, and how to represent a grammar of a regular language using regular expressions. And regular language is the language of finite state machine. Okay, so the definition of regular expression is any epsilon symbol is regular expression, any symbol from sigma is a regular expression. If R1 and R2 are regular expressions already, then R1 plus R2 means either R1 or R2 is a regular expression. R1 dot R2 means both of them, that is R1 and then R2, both are regular expressions. R1 star closure means R1 may be there for 0 times, 1 time, or any number of times is also a regular expression. R1 plus is also a regular expression. R1 plus means at least once it should occur. The symbol should occur at least once, and then it can be repeated for any number of times. Then we have seen the diagrams corresponding standard diagram of NFA with epsilon. That for Q0 and empty state, it is initial state is equal to final state. For a symbol, with the symbol, it will go to the final state. Then R1 plus R2 ke liye, this is the standard diagram. With epsilon, it will follow either this path or via this path, and either A or B is there. So either one of them with epsilon symbols added, the standard diagram. And this is the DFA, corresponding DFA with no epsilon symbols. Then for R1 dot R2, both are compulsory. So means both are necessary. A and A dot B may both are necessary. A is also there and B is also there. And with epsilon symbol ka diagram, just add epsilons. For R1 closure, we know that it can be there for 0 times or 1 time or any number of times. Then for plus, we know that it should be at least once. The symbol should be A plus may. The symbol should at least be traversed once. So with A, it may go to the final state, and if it is repeated, then it will be repeated, or this will be the DFA diagram. Okay. So what we did here is that for the regular expression, we are drawing the diagram, standard diagram. Okay, now Arden's theorem, which I want to teach you. In Arden's theorem, this diagram is given to you and you have to find out the regular expression. So this Arden's theorem teaches you or helps you to get the regular expression for a given machine. Okay, that is the reverse way. So we will learn that. And sometimes there is a question asked for 5 marks for on our Arden's theorem. Okay, now there can be a question in the exam like this, that a regular expression, write a regular expression for the strings ending with 0, 1, 1. Okay, right now we are solving a problem. Okay, right now we are solving a problem. If there is a question in the exam to write a regular expression for the strings ending with 0, 1, 1, and then draw NFA and then convert it to DFA. Here they are not saying specifically about NFA with epsilon or anything. Okay, so if it is NFA without epsilon, if, then this is done over here. Okay, in this problem, what I am doing is that for the regular expression, I am converting it to NFA without epsilon and then to DFA. Okay, so first you write the regular expression for the strings ending with 0, 1, 1. So what is the meaning of that? That this is my answer. That my string is ending with 0, 1, 1, and before that anything can be there, either 0 or 1. So anything for any number of times can be there before, and then the string is ending with 0, 1, 1. It should be accepted. Okay, so how to draw the diagram for that? So drawing NFA is very easy in this case. If you try to draw DFA directly, it is difficult to draw. So we can draw the NFA that with 0, 1, 1 minimum length string, machine should go to the final state, and but before that 0, 1, 1 anything can be there. So either 0 or 1 and any combination of zeros and ones before that in the initial state. But for last three symbols of 0, 1, 1, it should reach to the final state. So this is the NFA. Now, I have taught you how to convert from NFA to DFA. So the remaining part is to just convert this NFA into DFA. Okay, so we are having a revision of understanding how to convert NFA to DFA, which we have already studied. So what we did in that, for this identify the given NFA. First step is to identify the given NFA and draw this transition table. That from Q0, for 0 input symbol, there are two possible states. So Q0 with 0, it may go to either Q0 or Q1. So it is a group of, so like this you create the transition table for the given NFA. And then in the step 2, for the equivalent DFA, assume M dash is the equivalent DFA. And you need to remember this, that the first step, initial state of DFA is the initial state of NFA, but it is written in the square bracket and numbered as 1. So what we do is that this delta you need to remember. So what we do is that we start, this method is very simple. We start with the initial state of NFA, but in the square bracket and numbered as 1. And then we write down the transitions for 0 and 1. So we observe the transitions for 0 here, that is Q0, Q1. So it is a new state. So some part of Q0 and some part of Q1 is extracted from the original NFA and a new state is created. And as it is a combination of Q0 and Q1, it is written as Q0 comma Q1 and numbered, because it is a new state, it is numbered as 2. Then Q0 1 ke liye we try to see, and it is the state which is already there and which is numbered as 1 previously. So we are using the same number. Now you see that which is the next number. So next number is 2. So take the next number wala state Q0 Q1 2. And then check for 0 and 1. So here for 0 and 1, Q0, Q1 with 0 is Q0, Q1 union dash. That is what is mentioned over here. So it is the same state combined together. Then Q0, Q1 with 1 is Q0, Q2. So Q0, Q2 in square brackets, it is numbered as 3. Now you have to take the next number wala state. So next number wala state is 3. So Q0, Q2 ka 3. Then Q0, Q2 with 0 symbol is Q0, Q1, means the same state, Q2, same state, that is 2. Then Q0, Q2 with 1 is equal to Q0, Q3. So Q0, Q3 is a new state, numbered as 4. So now take the next number. And for Q0, Q3, now for Q0, Q3 with 0, it's only Q0, Q1. Q0, Q3 with 1 is only Q0, which is already there, and now there is no more new state. So if there is no new state available now, the state with number 5 is not there already here, then we have to stop. And this is the equivalent DFA. And then for this 1, 2, 3, 4, draw the transition diagram. Draw the transition diagram that I'm saying that with 0 it's going to 2, with 1 it is remaining in the same state. Then the second set 2 is with 0, then with 1 3, then 2. Like this you complete the diagram, and now you can verify your answer. Like for this particular string, whether your answer is correct or not, that also you can verify. So with 0 or 1, with minimum length string it is going to the final state 0 1 1. Before that, if 1 is there, it is here 1 0 1 1, 1 0 0 1 1, it will go to the final state. So here okay, so if we have to draw DFA directly for this particular regular expression, what we will do, we have learned how to draw DFA. So suppose we have to draw DFA for this particular regular expression, we will find out what is the minimum length string. Minimum length string is 0 1 1. So for 0 1 1, it will go to the final state. Now we have to see the missing transitions. So missing transition 1 for Q0 state. So if there is 1 in the state Q0, what we will do, that it is allowed, it will remain in the same state. So with 1 it is remaining in the same state, and the string 1 1 1 0 1 1 is allowed. It will go to the final state. So this is done. The state Q0 is done. Now go to the state 2. If here there is any 0, then there, it should remain there only, because it will be 0 1 1, and with that it will go to the final state. So we will write that. Now 0 1 is done. Now for the next state, if there is any 0 here, then it should go back, and with 0 1 1 it should go to the final state. So with 0 1 1 it will go to the final state. So this third state is done. Fourth state ke liye, if there is any 0 or 1, if there is any 0 or 1, it has to start again. For 0 it will go back here in the state 2, and with this 0 1 1 it will end, but with 1 it will go back to the initial state, and then again with this 1 ke baad 0 1 1 ke baad it will go to the final state. So this way we can verify the answer. Okay, and then write down the final answer. So sometimes if there is a question that you write the regular expression and draw NFA without epsilon and then convert it to DFA, you need to do this. Okay. So this I told you. Now yesterday's lecture, what we did is that we have the regular expression is given to you. Regular expression is given to you. You have to draw NFA without epsilon. So draw NFA without epsilon. So either it will follow the path for 1 0, or it will follow the path of either 0 plus 1 1. So here I am writing this 0 or 1 1 ka diagram. Either 0 or 1 1 ka NFA with epsilon ka diagram. So here this is a diagram for either 0 or 1 1. This was a diagram for 1 0. And after that there is 0 string. So again from Q9 it will go to a particular state. If 0 is there for 0 times, if 0 is there for 1 time, and if the 0 is repeated, and then Q4 to Q5 to join to the final state. So this is my NFA ka diagram with epsilon for the regular expression. So now I'm talking about the second type of problem, that given a regular expression, draw NFA with epsilon. Okay, so what you have to do, first step is to draw the NFA. Then find out all the epsilon closures. Find out all the epsilon closures for all the states and make the table, keep it ready. Okay. Then in the next step you are going to see, I'm again and again I'm telling you that whenever you are solving the problem, everything should be visible to you. You should not shuffle the pages. And if you are shuffling the pages and solving the problem in copying or in looking something in the previous page and copying to the next page, you will make the mistake, because there are so many states and so many symbols. Okay, so make a habit of solving the problem by taking a big paper, or by using left hand side paper and right hand side paper, and you should complete your problem in that left hand side and right hand side wala paper mein hi. Okay, don't shuffle the pages, and try to solve neat and clean problem to get 10 out of 10. If your answer is correct, don't lose your 2 marks just because you are not solving it neat and clean. Okay. So please practice, solve your tutorials as per the instructions given by me. Okay, now what we are doing in the previous step we did, we got this NFA. For this NFA, we have written down the steps that this is a given NFA and equivalent DFA. I'm just assuming, and this is my initial state. So here NFA with epsilon to DFA may we use epsilon closure. The epsilon closure of the state initial state is the initial state of DFA. So just write down all the epsilon closures. Epsilon closure of Q0 is Q0, Q1, Q2, Q6, Q7. That is combined together in a square bracket. Numbered as 1 is the initial state. So using that, you start. Okay, so prepare this table and you start with the first state. Okay, I'm just now telling only for the first state, and then we have done for the same thing for the other states. Okay, so see here Q0, because there is no space here on my screen, I have not written down here the transition table of this particular NFA. Okay, otherwise you have to make the transition table, and by referring the transition table easily you can write it here. So what I'm saying here is that Q0, Q1, Q2, Q6, Q7. For that, with zero input symbol, what are the transitions? So Q0 with 0 is nothing, Q1 with 0 is nothing, Q2 with 0 is nothing, Q6 with 0 is there, that is Q8. So I've added that Q8. Q7 with 0 is nothing. So only Q8. All the states with 0 input symbol going to Q8. That is the meaning. And that is NFA ka transition table. Now what is the answer? Q8 ka epsilon closure. So Q8 का epsilon closure is this Q8, Q9, Q12, Q14, 5. So combine all the states together in a single state, and that is numbered as 2. So we have got the second. So like this you have to do it for 1. All the states with 1 is Q3, Q10. उसका epsilon closure लिया. And now you have got the second number. First number is done, so you have to go in the sequence. So say take the second number and do everything. Take the third number. You've got the fourth state is also there. So take the fourth, then take the fifth one, then take the sixth one, and now there is no new state. So take the last as a dead state. Or you can take the dead state in between. If you number it as 5, then you will write it here as a 5. And then this will be the seventh state. Like this is also correct. Okay, so prepare the transition table. Once transition table is done, what is your job? To draw, write the final answer and draw the transition table. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm drawing the transition table that by writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, and drawing the transition table for all 7 states. Okay. Now this is my 7th state. Now I have to, the question is minimize DFA. Here there are so many states. I can minimize it. So I have to use a minimization technique by using square optimization. For minimization, I'm numbering them as P1, P0, P0, P1, P2, P3. You can even number again as Q0, Q1, Q2. But to avoid the problem, the confusion, I'm renaming them as P0, P1, P2, P3, and like that. Okay. Now, what we do in minimization is that we remove the non-reachable states. Then we find out the equivalent states by using square optimization technique, and then we merge the equivalent states, and then we redraw the DFA. Okay. So for this particular P1 to P6 problem, we are trying to find out the redundant state. Redundant states are non-reachable states. So I'm assuming that my initial set S contains P0, which is a set of reachable states. And then I'm trying to find out the transitions from P0. From P0, I can reach to P1. From P0, I can reach to P2. So that's why P1 and P2, which are not there in S, are added. Like this, for you go on taking the next step. P0 is done here in the first row. So now take the green color, next one. So like this, you have to go on next state from S. See, don't make any confusion. Sometimes the students, what they do is that they start taking all the states from here in the transition table. So then you will not get any non-reachable state. What you have to do is that you have to get the state from this set S here. So P0 was done. Now you have to take the next one from S. Okay, so just remember, take from S. Don't take from the transition table. Otherwise, all the states will be reachable only. So then P1 ka mila, P3, P6, which are not there, so they are added. Then I'm taking the next from the S, that is P2. P2 ka is 0, 1, P4, P6, that which were not there, so they are added. Now take the next P2 ke baad hai P3, so take P3, and P3 and P6, but they are already there. So now we have to stop actually. Then take the next one, P6, but for verification, I'm taking everything. If you observe here, here only I've got all the states. So I can stop here also. But I'll take the next state, then for 0, 1, then again I'm taking the next state, and there is no change, then P5. So all the states are there. So here in this case, all the states are reachable. Now for the equivalent states, we have to create this table properly. Here, remember, horizontally you start from 0. And if you are starting from 0 here, you have to start from 1, number 1, from top to bottom. And from left to right, 0 to 1 state less. Okay, and create a square like this. And then in case of minimization, the important fact is that final state can never be equivalent with non-final state. And with this concept, I can say that these are the final states. So this P1, P3, P4, P5, these are the final states, and P0 is non-final state. So they will never be equivalent with each other. So that I can find out by with this logic only. And so that's why I'm making, in the beginning only I have identified that all these states are not equivalent with each other. This P0 P1 is not equivalent, P0 P3 is not equivalent because one is final, one is non-final. P0 P4 is not equivalent. So there is a possibility of having equivalence between P0 P6. They may be equivalent. P0 P2 may be equivalent. P2 P6 may be equivalent, or P1 P3 can be equivalent because both are final. P1 and P4 can be equivalent. So the squares which are empty, there is a possibility of having a equivalence. So that I'm going to check. So how I check? I'm taking the first state P0 and P2. Now P0 with 0, P0 with 0 is P1, and P2 with 0 is P4. So I'm just writing that pair. Then P0 with 1 is P2, and P2 with 1 is P5. So I'm writing that pair also. So now I have to observe both the pairs. Here both are finals. So there is a possibility if P1, so now I can say that in this equation, if P1 and P4 are equivalent, then P0, P2 may be equivalent. Plus, but both the conditions should be true. The first condition is that P1 and P4, if they are equivalent, then there is a possibility. And the other condition, and also P2 and P5 should be equivalent. So this, if this pair is equivalent and this pair is equivalent, if both the pairs are equivalent, then this pair is equivalent. That is the rule over here in this diagram. So if I observe this diagram, this one is final, one is non-final. So I can directly say that they are not equivalent. So in pass one only I have identified that. Okay. And like this you have to go on doing for all the pairs. And sometimes what happens is that in the first pass we are not able to find out and we get some question marks. So if we are getting question marks, that all these equations we have to carry into the second pass. And in the second pass, we need to identify whether they are equivalent or not. But for this particular problem, there is no pass 2. In the pass 1 only, we have identified that P1, P3 and P5 are equivalent. So if once you identify that, if you are able to draw the transition diagram, then your answer is correct. So what I'm doing is that I'm drawing for P0. Refer the same transition table. And I'm drawing for P0. Now I'm saying that P1, P3, P5 are merged. So here P1 with 0 and P1 with 1, P3 with 0, P3 with 1, I am able to draw the diagram. And if you observe the table, here the transitions are same. Okay. It may not be the case that they are exactly same. They may be there may be P3 and some other state which is equivalent with P3. ऐसा भी हो जाएगा in complicated problems. Okay, so like this, I am not able to get any problem in drawing the transition table because if I draw it for P1, P1 का 0 and 1 का transition मैंने draw किया इधर. Now for P3, if I am trying to draw, I am not getting any issue because P3 with 0 is P3. So P3 with 0, it's P3. And P3 with 1 is P6. Q6. P6 actually. So I'm not facing any issue. So if you are able to draw the diagram, you can say that, okay, maybe your answer is correct. Okay. Then write down the final answer. But and how to identify the final state? Final states are P1, P3, P5 are merged together. So both of this is a final state, and Q4, the remaining wala state, is a final state. Okay, so draw this, and here also you can verify the answer for the regular expression. That with 1, 0 it should go to the final state. So with 1 and 0 it is going to the final state. With only 0 0 0 string. So with 0, it's going to the final state. 0 and 0 string, it's going to the final state. Then 1 1, it should go to the final state. So 1 1, it is going to the final state. And 1 1 0 string. So 1 1 0 string, it's going to the final state. What is not allowed is that 1 0 1 is not allowed. 1 0 0 is not allowed. So this is a dead state. Then 0 के बाद 1 है तो not allowed. Only 0 1 is not allowed. Okay, or 1 1 1 is not allowed. So 1 1 1 is not allowed. Like this, you can verify your answer. Okay, so this is a major part of your syllabus. Like 30-40 marks of weightage is there in the exam for this. Okay, now I am going to tell you about some new concept which is an important one. Okay, so please now pay your attention properly. Okay, so I'll just close this. Because the first minimization problem took lots of time, so I couldn't solve the second minimization problem. That's why I thought that I'll revisit that and I'll teach you that again in the next lecture. Okay, now is the screen visible? Okay, I will just check. Okay, now is the screen visible to you? The heading is minimize the given DFA exception condition example. Reply me on chat. Okay. Okay, so now whatever just till now I was speaking was a fast train or fast forward or recap. Okay, so we are now learning some new concept. Now pay your attention properly. This is a exception condition example. When you are solving any minimization technique ka problem in the exam, if such kind of condition is there, you need to take care, which is there in this particular problem. Okay, so you just try to understand what I'm teaching you right now. Okay, my question is, this DFA is given to me, I have to minimize the DFA. Okay, I am teaching you minimization of DFA with some exception condition. Okay, so in the exam, if the problem is there, there may be possibility of having such exception condition. So what to do for that particular exception condition, that I am trying to teach you. Okay, so here this DFA is given to me. The DFA is given to me. I have to minimize it. So my first step is to remove the non-reachable states. Okay, so I am saying that my S, this is my given DFA. Write down what is given DFA, and then say that I'm assuming that the set S is a set of states, a set of reachable states, and Q0 is a reachable state because it is the initial state. So Q0 by default is in S. Now take a state from S, write it here. So I have taken that Q0. Q0 with 0 is Q1, Q0 with 1 is Q3, that I'm writing here. Q1 and Q3 are not there in S, so I am modified S. Now I'm taking the next state from Q1, from S, taken Q1. Q1 with 0 is Q0, Q3. Q0 and Q3 both are already there, so there is no change. Now take the next state from S, that is Q3. So I'm taking Q3. Q3 with 0 is Q5. Q3 with 1 is Q0. So Q0 is already there, but Q5 is not there. So I have added Q5 in S. Now take Q5 out, Q5 from the next state of S, and for 0 and 1 it's Q5 only. So Q5 is already there, so there is no change in S. Now this S is over, so I cannot take any state from S, so I have to stop. So if you observe now how many states are reachable, Q0, Q1, Q3 and Q5, means both the states Q2 and Q4 are not reachable, so I'll cancel them. The states Q2 and Q4 are not reachable, so remove them. So I'm removing Q2 and Q4. Okay, and now this is my new transition table. New transition table that I have to refer. Okay, so remove the states and take the new transition table. So in my pass one of finding equivalent states ka step, this is my transition table. This is my DFA now, and I have to minimize it. Okay, so to minimize this in the pass one, what we do is that we start from Q0, which is the small number. So from Q0 to I have started writing from here. Q0, Q1, Q3 I'll write. So Q0 start from low horizontally. First you write horizontally and remember start from Q0. Okay, because how to remember this? Suppose you make a mistake of creating this table, your entire answer will be wrong. So just how to remember? We normally start from Q0. So start horizontally writing from Q0 first while creating this square. Okay, this is the lower part of the square. It is not a complete square. So in the lower part of your square, you start writing from Q0 horizontally. So horizontally, I am taking first three states and writing Q0, Q1, Q3. तो मैंने यहाँ zero से start किया था ना. So I can start from here now. Q1, Q3, Q5, or Q5, Q3, Q1. But it will be here from the higher state. Okay, so I can make a pair of Q0, Q5, Q0, Q3, Q0, Q. Okay. Now, as per the minimization का अपना rule क्या है? Non-final cannot be equivalent with final. So I can say that Q3 and Q5 can never be equivalent with Q0, Q1. Okay. So make that cross in the beginning. That Q0 cannot be equivalent with Q3, Q0 cannot be equivalent with Q5, Q1 cannot be equivalent with Q3, and Q1 cannot be equivalent with Q5. So I have made all the crosses. Okay, so this is done. Now I just have to check whether Q0 is equivalent with Q1. Q0 is equivalent with Q1 and Q3 is equivalent with Q5. So there are only two possibilities. So I'll make the equation. Now here I have made it again in the yellow color to remember because this is the exception condition. This is the exception condition here. So what I'm doing here is that I'm trying to find out the equivalence between Q0, Q1. So I'm writing that Q0, Q1 in the bracket. Okay. Now for Q0, Q1, for Q0, I'll write 0 ka transition. So Q0 with 0 is Q1. So write it here. And Q1 with 0 is Q1 with 0 is Q0. So the first pair is Q1, Q0. ये Q1, Q0. Q0 with 0 and Q1 with 0. So Q1, Q0 का first pair हो गया. And okay, sorry, I have to write here 1. So and for the second pair, for one input it is Q3 comma Q3. Okay, I'll just make the correction here. Now is this screen visible to you? Is the screen visible to you? Okay. Okay. So I'll just say again. Now I have to check for the equivalence between Q0 Q1. So for Q0 Q1, for 0 input symbol, it is Q1 Q0 that I have written down here. And Q0 Q1 with 1 is Q3 Q3. So now I have to observe both the terms. If this first pair is equivalent and if the second pair is equivalent, then my Q0 Q1 is equivalent. Okay. So I am observing the second pair. Second pair Q3 Q3 hai, dono same hai. Means it is equivalent. So here this pair is equivalent. Now if this Q1 Q0 is equivalent, then I can say that Q0 Q1 is equivalent. But if I see this pair, here it is a loop. Here I'm trying to find out the equivalence between Q0, Q1. That equivalence depends on the equivalence of Q1, Q0. So here it has formed a loop. So there is a loop that Q0 with 0 is Q1 and Q1 with 0 is Q0. So here the sequence is Q0, Q1 and here the sequence is ulta Q1, Q0. Means the equivalence of Q0, Q1 depends on the equivalence of Q1, Q0 and Q0 with 0 is Q1 and Q1 with 0 is Q0 and it is a loop. It is a loop over here that Q0 is connected to Q1 while Q1 is connected to Q0. So if such kind of loop is there, then we assume that they are equivalent. Okay. Any doubt in this? If you're not understood, ask me the doubt. Okay, I am trying to find out the equivalence between Q0, Q1. One of the pair is Q3, Q3. So that is equivalent. So I don't have to worry about it. The second pair, if I observe, I see that Q0 with 0 is Q1 and Q1 with 0 is Q0. So if you see here in this particular part, it is a loop. Like Q0 is connected to Q1, and this 0 is connected to dependent on Q1. So if such kind of loop is there, means here if it is in other way, here it is Q0 Q1, but here it is Q1 Q0. So if such a kind of loop is there, they are equivalent. And in the past one only we can say that they are equivalent. Okay, we don't have to do the question mark here to go to the second pass. So I can say that in the past one, because of the loop, they are equivalent. So you need to mention it. Okay, any doubt in this? So such kind of condition will not be there in each and every problem, but in one of the case it may occur in your minimization technique. So if there is a loop, it is a equivalence. Now I am taking the second pair Q3 Q5. Q3 Q0 Q3, so one is final, one is non-final, so they are not equivalent. Q0 Q5 are not equivalent. Q1 Q3 not. Q1 Q5 is not. Now I have to check for Q3 Q5. Q3 Q5 with 0, it is Q5 Q5, so it is correct. This is equivalent. But the second may uh, for a symbol one, it is Q0 Q5, and one is final, one is non-final. So this pair is not equivalent. So as both the pairs are not equivalent, Q3 Q5 is also not equivalent. And then my answer is correct. Done. So next step is to draw the transition diagram. So for transition diagram, I am combining Q0 Q1 together in a single state numbered as 1. And then I'm writing both the states, Q3, Q5, remaining states. And then draw the table. If draw the diagram. If while drawing the diagram, you should not face any issue. And then write the final answer. Okay. So this is what I taught you today. That in the minimization, if there is any loop, then they are equivalent, because here Q0 Q1 may the pair is Q1 Q0. It is treated as a loop. Okay, so this covers major part of your syllabus. Okay. Now we are going to learn about the Arden's theorem, which is a small topic. Actually, I have created 4 or 5 problems, but there is no need to take each and every problem. In the tutorial, also I have added or asked you to solve 2 problems on Arden's theorem. Okay, so I am teaching you last 2 problems of your tutorial, how to solve them. Okay, so uh, so again a new topic. The new topic is about Arden's theorem. Okay, I think you have understood previous problem. Any doubts in till now? Whatever is taught. Are there any doubts? Are you comfortable? Are you understanding? Reply me on chat. Is there any doubt in the previous problem? Whatever is taught till now. Okay. Okay. So we have done a quick revision of all the topics. And for minimization, I taught you about the exception condition. Okay. Now today, right now, I am going to teach you about Arden's theorem. So uh, again, reset yourself and concentrate. Okay. So this is something new which you are learning for the first time. What is this Arden's theorem? This Arden's theorem will allow you to get the regular expression. Arden's theorem will allow you to find out a regular expression for a finite automata. So that means a diagram is given to you and you have to find out the regular expression. What we did previously, we were given regular expression and we have drawn the standard NFA and वो NFA को हमने DFA में convert किया. Okay, or we can directly draw the DFA. So Arden theorem will give you the diagram. If you are given a diagram, you can find out the regular expression. So we use Arden theorem along with the properties of regular expression. So what is the statement of this Arden theorem is that suppose you are having 2 regular expressions P and Q. Okay, it's a very small concept. If you are having 2 regular expressions P and Q, and if P does not contain any null string, so there are no empty symbols. We assume that there are no empty symbols. This is for DFA. So if there are no empty symbols in the P, and if you are having the regular expression like R is equal to Q plus RP, then this can be rewritten as Q is as R is equal to QP star. Okay, so that means if you are having something like this, R is equal to Q plus RP. Here R is the same. This is nothing but R is equal to QP star. So you can directly replace this particular regular expression with this part, this type of regular expression. Okay, I'll just repeat this again. Arden theorem will allow you to find out the regular expression for a DFA. Okay. We assume that if there are two regular expressions P and Q, and if P does not have any empty symbols, and if we have a statement like a regular expression like R is equal to Q plus RP, then we can rewrite it as R is equal to QP star. Now why the proof is here. Okay, why we can do that? Because here there is some recursion. R is expressed in terms of R. So what I'll do is that I'm writing R is equal to Q plus RP. For this R, I'll replace the value of R. So that R is nothing but Q plus RP. So I've written down that. So what I'm getting now, Q plus QP, this Q into P plus RPP. Okay. Again for this R, if I replace it with Q plus RP, like this, if I go on doing that continuously because it is a recursion, finally I'll say that I'm getting this type of strings. That Q into epsilon, if I and if I now remove Q because it is appearing everywhere. So if I take it out, I get Q into epsilon plus P1 plus P2 plus P3 etc. So we can say that it is QP star. मतलब P2 P3 नहीं है, that is only P only. So it is a QP star. Okay. So hence we have proved that it is nothing but QP star. R is equal to Q plus RP is nothing but R is equal to QP star. So we can directly replace that. So what are the assumptions for Arden theorem? That the transition diagram must not have any null transitions. In your transition diagram, there should not be any empty transitions, and it should have only one initial step. So in FA, always we have only one initial step. Okay, so the second is not an issue, but we have to check whether null transitions are there or not. So have you understood this? We will solve the problem now. Okay, so take this example. Now this diagram is given to you and you have to find out a regular expression for this FA. Okay, the question is that find out a regular expression for this FA. And in the exam they give you the diagram and they ask you to write the regular expression. It is for 5 marks. Okay, so now how to start? Okay, this question can be solved by using Arden's theorem. So I'll just say that my step 1 is to write down the equation for each of the states. I have to write down the first step is to write down the equations for Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 because I'm having 4 states. Okay, so what I'll do here is that um, first I'll start from Q1. Now if you have to observe Q1 and here you need to remember or you need to consider all the incoming transitions. Okay, so I should have written down here in the yellow color that so you can note down in your notes that what you have to remember in the step 1 is that consider only incoming transitions for a state. We are considering only incoming transitions for the states in the step 1. So in Q1, I'll see what is the incoming transition is this. So what is the symbol here? That is epsilon. Okay. In the transition diagram, there is no epsilon symbol, but when we are writing this equation, we are going to consider this symbol as the epsilon symbol. So this initial state hai, so initial state for always epsilon is there. So don't forget this also. If you forget this also, then also your answer will be wrong. Okay. So for the state Q1, this is the epsilon symbol. Okay. First value is epsilon symbol. Now you see the incoming transitions. The next incoming transition is from Q2. Take in the sequence. Solve the problem by assuming the states in the sequence. जो numbering है ना वैसे ही. तो तुम्हारा और जो पेपर चेकिंग करने वाला है उसका आंसर विल मैच. ओके सो आई कंसीडरिंग Q2. Q2 का B के साथ इनकमिंग ट्रांजिशन है Q1 के लिए. So what I'll do is that I'll in the equation I'll say that Q1 is equal to epsilon for this Then for Q2 it is Q2B. So how to write it as Q2 with B going to Q1 plus Q3 with A is going to Q1. So like this, your first equation is ready. So in the step 1, you have to write down all the equations. Okay, epsilon. So for Q1, it is epsilon plus Q2B plus Q3A. Okay, now I'll write for Q2. Q2, see the incoming transition. There is only one incoming transition from Q1. So I'll say that Q2 is equal to Q1A. Okay. Now for Q3, I'll see what are the incoming transitions. There is only one incoming transition from Q1. So I'm writing Q3 is equal to Q1B. And now for Q4, I need to check how many incoming. There are three incoming transitions. Okay. So one is from Q2. So it is Q2A, then Q4A, and Q4B. Okay. And Q3B. There are four. Okay. This Q4 is, I think it is a dead state. And it is getting all the transitions from states Q2, Q3, and Q4 itself. So there are four. Okay, so you understood the step 1. Step 1 may you need to write down all the equations. For initial state, you will have always this epsilon to understand or to write down something for this particular incoming transition. This incoming transition is nothing but epsilon. Okay, so you assume that epsilon and you write down. So this is the step 1, which is simple. Okay. Now, this step 2 you have to write down in each and every problem. What we are writing about Arden's theorem. What is an Arden's theorem is? So Arden's theorem assumes that in the transition diagram, we don't have null transitions. We are saying that in the transition diagram, it does not have null transitions. It have only one initial state. So we can apply Arden's theorem to solve this problem. And what is Arden's theorem? Arden's theorem says that if there is P and Q, two regular expressions are there, and if P does not contain null string, then there is something called as R is equal to Q plus RP, its solution can be rewritten as R is equal to Q plus star. So this you have to explain in each and every problem whenever you are solving, because you have to tell no how you are solving the problem. You are applying Arden's theorem. So what is Arden's theorem? That you have to tell in step 2. So step 2 is common for each and every problem. Now in the step 3, we have to just go, this is just a simple mathematics. So you have to just observe R is equal to Q plus RP, or so you have to go on replacing it with R is equal to Q plus star. And what is your answer? Your answer is always the answer for the final state. Okay. The value for the final state is the regular expression. Okay. And your final answer is the value of the final state. In this particular diagram, there is only one final state. If there are more than one final states, then your answer will be, suppose there are two final states, Q1 and Q4. Then your answer will be Q1 plus Q4. Q1 का जो value आएगा वो plus Q4 का जो value आएगा वो. That will be the final answer. In this diagram, only Q1 is the final. So my final answer is the value of Q1, which is written here. Okay. So I have to solve now. So take the first equation. Just observe here. It is with respect to Q2 and Q3. But Q2 and Q3 are already like they are mentioned with these values. Okay. Now I have to convert this particular equation in this format. R is equal to Q plus RP. So what I'll do is that this is the first problem, so it is very simple. So I have taken a simple example. So I'm just replacing this Q2 with Q1A. So if I'm replacing this Q2 with, so my first step is to replace Q2 and Q3 of equation 1 with their values. So Q1 is equal to epsilon plus, replace Q2 with the Q2 ka value and replace Q3 with Q3 ka value, and I'm writing it again. Okay, now if I observe, I can take out Q1 outside as a common term. So common term liya isko, and inside that AB plus BA is there. So now if you observe this particular equation, it is R is equal to Q plus RP type. So I can rewrite it as R is equal to Q plus star. So my R is equal to Q1 and my Q is equal to epsilon, and P star is, so I'll remove this R and I'll say P star. So P star means AB plus BA bracket ka star. And anything multiplied by epsilon is equal to same thing. means compulsory किया so it is so I can remove epsilon and now my this is the final answer. Okay, so verify the answer. To verify the answer, find out all the strings belonging to this regular expression. What are the strings? AB, only AB is a string, only BA is a string, AB is a string, BA is a string, AB, then BA, then AB is also a valid string. So just verify your answer. AB is allowed, only BA is allowed, AB is allowed, BA is allowed, then AB, then BA, then AB, then BA, or BA, then AB is allowed. So you can verify your answer. And this is your regular expression for this particular diagram. This diagram का regular expression either AB or BA and the bracket repeated for any number of times. Even without Adam's theorem also sometimes you can for simple problems you can find out the regular expression directly. Okay. So any doubts in this? So I'll take one more problem and then we will have some practice problem in next lecture. We'll revise this and we'll start with the new topic. Okay. So let's see one more problem and then I'll stop for today because there are 6 minutes left. Okay, so this is the question now. We have to find out the regular expression for this. So first step is to find out what is Q0. Q0 is initial state. So epsilon incoming transition is only one. That is Q0 0. Then the next one is Q1. Q1 is equal to, there are two incoming transitions, Q01 and Q11. So this is a step 1. Step 2 is about Arden's theorem. What is Arden's theorem? That I can have R is equal to Q plus RP can be replaced with Q is equal to Q P star. And the diagram should not have any null transition. It should have only a single initial state. So everything is fine. I can apply Arden's theorem. So what in this case, what is my answer? My answer is both. There are two final states. So my answer is Q0 plus Q1 is my answer. Either Q0 or Q1 because plus means or. So my final state is either Q0 or Q1. So my regular expression answer is either Q0 or Q1 means Q0 plus Q1. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to find out here Q0 plus Q1. Now see the first equation Q0 is equal to epsilon plus Q0 0. Now this is already in R is equal to Q plus RP format. So I can directly rewrite it as Q0 is equal to epsilon 0 star and epsilon into 0 star is equal to 0 star. So this is my equation 1. Okay, or you can number from here 1, 2, and then this is the third equation. Okay, so this I have got Q0, I have got 0 string. Finally, I have to bring everything in the form of zeros and ones. My 0 and 1 are the symbols. So my regular expression is made up of 0 and 1. In the previous problem also it was like that only. Now for the second Q1, this is my equation Q0 1 plus Q1 1. So I'll apply the value of Q0 now here. So I'll substitute Q0 is equal to 0 string here. Okay, so if you observe this, this is also again R is equal to Q plus RP. Q1 1 है ना? So it is similar to R is equal to Q plus RP. So I can rewrite it as QP star. So I'm rewriting it as QP star means Q01 dot 1 star. And now it is Q1 is equal to Q1 still Q1 is in the form of Q0. I have to remove this and I have to get everything in the form of zeros and ones. But I've got the answer for Q0 that is equal to 0 star. So I'll replace it with that. And now I'm getting the answer for Q1 that is 0 star 1 1 string. So my final answer is Q0 plus Q1 that is equal to 0 star plus 0 star 1 1 string. And now here again I can simplify 0 star outside epsilon plus 1 1 star. Okay, so you can write it in this format or in this format. Anything is right. Okay, and then verify you answer 0 string, then 1 string is allowed. Okay, so see you can check here that 0 string or 0 string 1 string is also a valid string. So this way you have to solve the problems. Okay, I have actually prepared the slides for the some more problems, but now the time is over. So we'll quickly go through in the next lecture with 1 or 2 problems, and I'll share this PDF with you, PDF of the lecture with you. Or plus, I assume that you are visiting the lectures. If there is any doubt, then you are visiting to the YouTube lecture notes. The link of that is added in your classroom. So you go to the link, click on that link, and then you get a particular lecture where you can see the examples and clear your doubts. Okay. So as the time is over, we will stop. So let's meet on Friday.